So the thing is, whenever you experience a thunderstorm, and I'm sure you've experienced plenty of thunderstorms in your time, whenever you experience a thunderstorm, the full thunder and the lightning, the whole thing, hailstones, rain, whatever, you normally can hear them coming, can't you? You hear the rumbling in the distance, the greying of the clouds, everything gets overcast, maybe a little bit of rain, and then bang, you're in it. That didn't happen last Sunday, not with me. Weather was fine, suddenly there was an overcast cloud appearing, and then bang, right over the top of the house, and I mean immediately above. So the lightning and the thunder were almost immediate, because there's no space between them. And it was day, so I didn't see the lightning. First thing I heard, lightning, thunder, one go, electricity, gone. Just completely gone, dead. And then it kicked back in again, the electric, and we thought, oh yeah, okay. And then off it went again. Lightning, thunder, straight over again, electricity, gone. And there was a pause, and we thought, it's going to come back. It's going to come back, please. And it did. And it came back, and we thought, phew. And then this storm then unleashed hailstones the size of marbles. Now you might say, oh, that's nothing. I remember the time we had hailstones the size of semi-detached houses. Oh, they were enormous. But you don't get that around here. Normally we get micro hailstones. Hailstones the size of acne, that sort of size. But no, these were marble size. And for here, that's very, very unusual. Anyway, 3 ton of those come down. And then we thought, wow, that was a bit of a show, you know. So we put down the popcorn and we got back to work. And then suddenly realised the internet had gone. And then things got a bit serious. So we waited for the internet to kick back in. Sometimes it can happen. Sometimes the internet can just, you know, with this sort of thing, but, you know, give it a minute and it just like kicks back in. Didn't happen this time. Didn't happen this time. So check the router, internet was down and yet power was on and there was a wireless network within the house, but obviously nothing connecting to the outside. Went through all the usual tests. So turns out, cut a long story short, that the lightning had fried part of my router. Now fortunately, the rest of my computer system is on one of those APC battery backups with surge protector and the whole thing. Does a great job for my desktop computer. But only some of the plugs, some of the sockets are surge protect, I think, and others are not. Anyway, the router is in the not line of sockets. So that got zapped, which made me count my blessings because thank goodness my computer was on the surge protect area. So that was a good thing. Anyway, that's why there was no video on Tuesday and why you're seeing one again on Friday. So that's the reason, which is a bit different from the usual dog ate my homework excuse, isn't it? But there you are. Anyway, back on stream now. So I hope you like this one and over to the video. And we're back with a new episode of Vinyl News. So let's crack on. And from the Craft record label, we have 2 reissues from Creedence Clearwater Revival, both initially released on the Fantasy label. Have them here. They're basically albums 3 and 4. Green River probably encapsulates what CCR is all about. It has all the elements that the band is famous for. It's a rocking album, but it's also easygoing, and there's a sort of streak of melancholy running through this particular one. It's a beautiful album though. Willy and the Poor Boys is a easygoing LP, but it does include a really hard rocking protest song called Fortunate Son, an excellent track on its own, but the album itself is another superb release. As you can see by the logo, it's been remastered by Abbey Road in London, and specifically by Miles Showell, who is probably the world's foremost half-speed mastering engineer. It's not a particularly pleasant job because you're listening to music at half speed, so it's a little bit tiring, but the end product is superb sound quality, so I highly recommend it. Next, a reissue of a Phil Collins album, originally on Virgin in 1989, but now reissued on Rhino Atlantic, and it is, but seriously, this 30th anniversary edition on limited edition turquoise vinyl, would you believe? Check out I Wish It Would Rain Down, a track which features Eric Clapton, and now a reissue from the Spanish audiophile label Munster, Munster. This band is a quartet from Colombia, of all places. 1968 was when this particular album was initially issued. It's a bunch of covers, really, from the likes of the Beatles, Troggs, Loving Spoonful, the Monkees, people like that. It's got a sort of Mersey beat, surf guitar, garage sound. This album really shouldn't exist, but it was rescued from a bunch of old cassette tapes. In addition to the original album, there are 4 extra tracks included here, taken from an early 70s soundtrack. More covers, Beatles, stuff like that. I think there's a couple of originals in there too, but a fascinating piece. And now a batch of reissues from the UK audiophile label Demon. And first up we have Suede. This is the 30th anniversary of the album, released on black vinyl. It comes on 3 records, and let me quickly show you those. All 3 have this style of art on one side of the inner sleeve. This is one of the inner sleeves, black vinyl here. 2 of the 3 inner sleeves have almost like this spidery handwritten suite of lyrics on one side, and the 3rd LP inner has this rather nice fetching artwork. This album also includes a full LP of B-sides, so great value for the fans. Greatest hits package from Tina Turner, spread over 2 LPs. What's Love Got to Do with It? Simply the Best. They're all there, all the old favourites. Called P&P Disco, this is a selection of 12 underground New York disco tracks spread over 2 LPs. Tracks include the Foster Jackson Group, Mary Clark, and many more. On to Eric Clapton now and his Crossroads Guitar Festival. This is a charitable event. It's a sort of semi-regular thing which he's been doing for a fair few years, since 1999. Basically it supports his rehab centre in Antigua. And he will invite, or has invited, a number of well-known names, guitar players, as well as up-and-coming guitar players in addition. And he has already released these guitar festivals on disc. There is now a box set out, a 6 LP box set released via Rhino. And this box set is a sort of sampler across all of these releases. Issued on black vinyl, it includes a whole host of stars, including J.J. Cale, Joe Walsh, Jeff Beck, Derek Trucks, Carlos Santana, Ronnie Wood. There's so many people. The music here ranges from 2004, 2007, 2010 and 2013. And this is the box, this is the front, and on the rear, as you might expect, there's a whole host of names there. There's even Sheryl Crow, I think, is in there somewhere, along with people like Steve Winwood. Inside, I don't know, I expected something a little bit more. I suppose it's just me. I just thought there might be something a little bit extra in here, but you get 6 discs like this. It's nice that the inner sleeve has a soft lined plastic inner to protect your records, but there are 6 of these, just a simple affair. In addition to that, you get a little leaflet. This is the leaflet, just 4 sides on this. And inside you'll see a host of names here who appear on each track. So let me give you an idea about who may appear on what. We have, for example, Born Under a Bad Sign, that's just over 5 minutes. We've got Booker T with Steve Cropper in that particular one, Keb Mo, Blake Mills, Matt Guitar Murphy, and Albert Lee. So sometimes you do get certain tracks where there's a whole host of guitars on occupying the stage at any one time. Doesn't always happen, of course. Joe Walsh is on his own for Funk number 49. Steamroller, we have Joe Walsh, but this time with James Taylor. Big Block, that's Jeff Beck on his own. But again, you'll have Lay Down Sally, for example, and you'll have Vince Gill with Sheryl Crow, Keb Mo, Albert Lee, James Burton and Earl Klug. So there's a right old mixture here of people and collaborations on stage. I'd like to talk about a few new releases from the American audiophile record label Mobile Fidelity. We have 2 groups covering 4 new releases, and basically these are very expensive issues, and they're expensive because they're aimed at the audiophile user, somebody who just wants great sounding music. So when I say expensive, you're looking at around £50–60 per album, depends what you buy, each record of course. Mobile Fidelity grade their releases in different ways, and the issues I'm about to show you are their top of the line products. Basically what they do is they spend an awful lot of time mastering each and every album. They normally split a single album into two discs, just to allow the grooves more room to breathe, as it were. Each and every disc runs at 45 RPM, which increases the sample rate past the stylus tip again, increasing the quality of the sound. The mastering is always superb, that's a given, and it's well packaged, high quality packaging, and it's just a beautiful thing. 3 releases from Dire Straits, and what you get, now I've kept the packaging intact on this one just to show you what it looks like. You'll have this bag, as it were, and normally at the very top here it'll be a serrated portion, which all you do is you just pick up a corner and you pull. It doesn't always come off first time, as you can see. So let me just have a look here. There you are. You just pull along the... There you are. Not exactly clean, but it comes off clean in the end. So that's a straight edge, and then out that comes, and you can reuse that bag later on. This particular one, as I say, it's Dire Straits, so it's the 1978 debut, features the hit single Sultans of Swing. As I say, this is on 2 slabs of vinyl. There's the front. And then inside we have a nice picture of the band, and then some lyric information on the other side. Inside the gatefold you'll find the record wrapped in a sort of promotional card, which gives you more information about the company and the releases it offers. And then there's a very nice plastic inner, which takes good care, just see that shining there against the light, it takes good care of your records, obviously pressed on black vinyl. In addition to the debut, we have Communiqué, which was 1979 release. Same thing, 2 discs, 45 RPM, play. And finally we have the 1980 release, Making Movies. Again, another excellent edition by Mobile Fidelity, superb mastering, beautiful packaging, aimed directly at the audiophile listener. The Grateful Dead were a superb live band. In fact, they were more than a live band, they were almost a self-contained ecosystem. But in the studio, they were a little bit awkward. It's almost as if they were claustrophobic. The whole notion of an organised performance seemed to be abhorrent to them. They felt constrained, imprisoned almost by the walls of the studio, and they never really relaxed. They were famous actually for their relatively poor studio albums. Some were better than others, and this one is one of their best. From the Mars Hotel from 1974, and here it is on Mobile Fidelity. Another superb mastering job on this particular one, again spread over 2 discs, features some excellent vocals from Jerry Garcia. Not the most powerful or imposing vocalist you've ever heard in your life, but he gives it with feeling, you know? You feel the soul with Jerry, and that's part of the job of a vocalist, isn't it, really, to put the song over, and he does it very well indeed. So what I mean by that is China Doll is a very tender ballad, whereas US Blues has a bit of that cynical, political edge, which he successfully delivers. So a very nice album, surprisingly good for a studio outing for the Grateful Dead, and great production by Mobile Fidelity. Thank you for joining me. You're very welcome to comment on any of the discs you've just seen. If you do, please keep it clean, no swearing, keep it polite. This is a family channel. Until the next video, I look forward to seeing you then. Bye bye for now.